Hello everyone, this is Mike with Play More Games, and we are back with another episode of Saipan, the Bloody Rock. We are on day 1, the 1100 hour turn, and we're looking to make some progress as the Americans. And hopefully we have some good luck, and we keep pushing ashore. And as Japan, we're hoping to repeat some of our successes from last turn. Throw the American invaders back. So let's get started. The first, where we left off last time was step D of the preparation phase, spending dispatch points. So we'll just go through and we'll do it in module order. We'll go to the Americans. Now, the 2nd Marine Division does not have a ton of points, but they would certainly like to start getting some actions out there. So they will buy the, looks like the 2nd Regimental Combat Team. So let's grab it, or the 6th, the red one. It's the 6th. So we'll toss that in the cup. 4th Marine Division actually has a good amount of dispatch points. So they are going to buy both the division shit and actually we'll bump up their fatigue while we're at it. And we'll actually stay put for there. Because we don't have, depending on when the chits come out, we might have some units to play around with, or we might not. So definitely want to try to get the most out of these points. Moving on to the Empire of Japan. Let's see. For the 47th, we might buy the 47th will save its points, and the 43rd will actually buy its division shit again. And here's what I'm thinking. The 47th dispatch rating is only a 2, which is kind of bad, but they've got a lot more potential attacks lined up than any one formation of the 47th. So I'd like to see the 47th get another dispatch point or 2 so we can buy the whole darn division. So let's toss that in there. Alright. And then it comes to the Navy. The Navy has 1 dispatch point, and operating under the same theory, they won't purchase any. Okay. So our fatigue is good, so we'll go back and we'll get dispatch points here. So we'll roll for the 2nd Marines. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what they needed. So they get 3 points. It's been a couple days, so let me just double check and make sure that it's 3. I'm pretty sure that it is. Yeah. Yeah. Great. So then the 4th Marine Division. Oh wow. That's awesome. So our Americans are looking pretty nice on dispatch points. Let's go to Japan. So we'll do the 43rd. They get 1. And we'll do the 47th. They get 1. And then we'll do the Navy. And they get 2. Or 3, excuse me. Alright. So then reinforcements. So on this turn, Japan can start rolling to bring in their special reinforcements. And basically how that works is there's those 3 groups, A, B, and C, 2 for the 43rd and 1 for the 47th. And then, so when those units are active, you can basically roll to see if you can bring them on. Basically, if they pass a troop quality check, they can head to the board as if they are returning from route. The only tricky thing is that their HQ is in this city right here, which is going to certainly look like an American stronghold, probably within a turn or two. So again, it's kind of that, do you defend as far forward as possible and kind of let yourself run out of punching power, or do you do a slow retreat to the tip of the island? So we don't have to decide right now. Alright. This turn is also unique in that it's the first turn with the naval chit and the air chit thrown into the cup rather than done by special procedure. Okay. So let's place the American reinforcements. Alright. So red 2 or red 3, we'll send these to red 2 since there's no one in the approach zone there. And we'll send these to red 3. Green 1 or green 2. Well, they're both going to the same place. So we'll stick those there. Actually, we'll stick them here, because there's no one in the approach zone. The run-in zone, I should say. And then, over in red 2, we have this big artillery piece. That's nice. They can't move on their own, but it's really some good firepower. Only the sad thing is that it's a white stripe unit, so you really can only mess around with it on those division activations. Alright, the other Marine group, they have some artillery coming in too. One at yellow 2, one at blue 2. These 2 units are coming in at blue 2. These 2 are coming in at yellow 2. These 3 are coming in at blue 1 and yellow 1. So, see what I mean about American stronghold? They're coming. Okay. So reinforcements are placed. So it is the activation phase. But because I'm a little paranoid, let me just pull out all of these chits. Make sure that everything is in there. Alright. Yep. So both American chits that we bought, the Japanese chit that we bought, both direct command chits, the wind chit, the event chit, the amphibious movement chit, the Navy support, and the air support chit. Alright, so let's send these all to the cup. And so it is the American, if they want to purchase a formation activation chit before the draw of any chit bought throughout the action phase, I may do so. And I'm kind of thinking about getting the 8th Regimental Combat Team here just to get out of an overstacking situation. But if I do that again, I will only be leaving myself with 1 point for next turn. I will probably end up doing it for either or both of these formations on this turn, depending on how things go. But I don't see a pressing need right now. Yeah. Now, Japan could do the same with either division, but they're going to wait. They're going to wait and see what kind of opportunities might pop up. Because really what they want to do is they could take a shot, but none of these stacks are really close to elimination. I mean, I suppose this one is. Kind of forgot that it was at DG3. I probably should have thought about this more before we started playing. That would leave him with absolutely nothing for next turn, though. Dispatch point-wise. Alright, let's just pull chit. We'll see what happens. And it's the Marines, the 4th Division. Alright. So the first thing, and we'll just follow, because I haven't been doing a very good job of it, and I said that this was kind of a learning playthrough game. But as you can figure out, that even if you haven't played this before, or maybe it's been a while since you've played it, once you start, you really fall into a rhythm. Saipan and the company scale system, I haven't played Folder Gap yet, although I do have it. It really is more than the sum of its parts. Each of its procedures are very simple. I don't really think that there's anything too complicated in this game, but really it's how all of those things interlock that really give it its appeal. So it's an accessible game for sure, but the scale is very gratifying. You know, it's definitely very fun to feel like you're, as the Americans, defending, crawling, advancing across an island, or if you're the Japanese, that you're fighting for every last hex here. So, okay. So division shit, the first thing we do is we can move any leaders on the board. There are none. We can attach support weapons. We have none. So that's A, B, C, and D. So we go to E. We remove concentrated fire, sustained fire, and no opportunity fire from any active units. So we'll remove all of these concentrated fire markers. Oh, that's a disorganized. All right. So active units may change from. They may go to deployed to from incom to deployed. So since these units don't have any opportunity fire, this unit does, but it could nail that one here. Oh, actually, it has no fire zone, so it cannot opportunity fire. Alright. So let's just go to the terrain effects chart, because we haven't done a lot of moving yet. This is a sugarcane hex, and it costs 2 to move into. So we'll go 2. Now that they're here, if they were to move again, this unit could pop a shot at him. This unit could pop a shot at him. So they'll stop there. They will move in there as well. So we're going to copy this since this follows them. And That's probably good for that stack. They can, this stack though, they can go 1, 2 into there. In this unit, we will bring the tank down with, because the modifier for firing at a soft target and a hex with hard targets is pretty nice. All right. Now all these units are done because there's no second action possible because they don't have any leaders on the board yet. So it's kind of a double-edged sword that they were able to get out of these beaches to avoid overstacking before their leaders started landing. Like on the one hand, it's nice to not have to pay those penalties, but on the other hand, you are going to, I mean, you talk about economy of action, and this isn't really doing it. Okay. These units will go here, and these are indirect fire units. It's a direct fire unit that has already shot. Now, what is my plan? It's a good question. What is my plan? Yeah. Yeah, these guys will keep moving down there. And they will go through to there. Now, obviously, this one needs to be on that side. Here's the idea. I want all of these hexes to be able to bring on all of their units without taking stacking penalties for them. So we had to get them somewhere to go. Obviously, we're going to try and squeeze this hex out, but these tanks, they don't have anywhere to go until we can kind of clear this road north. The other place they could go would be to do an end around, like through here, and that's a lot of territory we haven't cleared yet. So the general plan I have for the Marine divisions is I want to kind of have this division push this way, kind of northeast across the island, and have this division push north towards Garapa Point. Then tomorrow, when the 27th lands, they're going to head south and take Aslito Airfield. So we need to clear some space for them to operate. And the reason I want to do it this way is, one, that's kind of what happened historically, as pointed out in the notes, but two, this gives both divisions, all three divisions, a lot of room to operate, because each division is about some 20-some infantry companies with mortar sections and support weapons. So, you don't want to run out of stuff to activate. Like, it's tough to spend 2 dispatch points and not really get to do a whole lot with it because your units are just not in place. So they definitely need their own areas to operate in. Alright, so that was a decent use of that chit. We got a lot of units into position. Unfortunately, there's no leaders for second actions, but pretty happy with how that turned out, because we got some room. You know what I did not consider is that I do not want those beach hexes to get closed. I failed to consider that. So we'll move those tanks back. Darn. Darn. Kind of puts these infantry companies at risk a little bit, but oh well. Die is cast. Alright, so next chit. Navy support. Cool. So this works a little bit differently. Instead of having those huge preparatory bombardments that are kind of like beep beep here and there, we have 3 really nice naval support chits. And they're a 7 strength indirect fire attack. And unlike the preparatory bombardment, where are you? Unlike the preparatory bombardment, I think, yeah, there we go, task forces. Unlike the preparatory bombardment, these are normal attacks with the normal modifiers, which the modifiers for indirect is a little bit different than direct. We haven't done too many direct fire attacks, so we'll just run through them before we get started. So we don't have to roll for scatter if we can spot. So definitely want to hit the hexes that are kind of causing us problems. Okay. So, let's pull it out here. Yeah. So, indirect fire strength modifiers. DG status markers on the firing unit does not apply. Barrage markers currently on the firing unit does not apply. There are no hard targets. So then you do defense value and fortification defense strength in target hex. So there is a -2 for the trench and a -1 for the it is brush. So the 7 becomes a 4. So we'll roll 4 on the indirect fire chart. So we got a 3, so that's 2 DGR. Very nice. And route check. 0 always passes. So move the task force there. And for the barrage markers, I have to look them up, but I believe this is a light barrage. No, it's a medium barrage. Alright? Boy. This is just one of those things that I have to look up pretty much every time. One day I'll remember. Not today. Okay. 4 is a medium barrage. So if we look, they have a really -3 to their strength. So they're 0 or 1. That's really nice. Alright, so this one here, it's the same modifiers, so 4 or less. It's a miss, but we still apply the barrage marker. And then here is a 5, because that is on a runway And actually, does a runway have a +1? A runway has a +1, so it's a 6. So this is a heavy barrage. Very nice. 6 or less. That's how these things go sometimes. Could have done some serious damage, but as it stands, it's really going to put a hamper on their ability to dish out damage to this hex here. And now I will pull the wind chit. Had you going, didn't I? Alright, so the event, we'll roll. We got a 1. Japanese NCO shows initiative. We can add 3 direct commands to a Japanese division. So let's see. I think we're definitely going to go with the 43rd. Okay. Let's see. Air support. Excellent. So we'll roll die for air support. And we got a big 0. That's awesome. So we get 6 airstrikes. And this is just an unmodified 6 strength attack. We do have to pay for these. Fortunately, we do have a lot of direct commands available. Let's see. Okay, and we can use any division in play to pay for these. So let's hit this, this, this. Oops, sorry. Does it count for nothing? Here, here, and here. Oh, can't target this one because this one's in a cave. I might have done it earlier, which I am deeply apologetic for. Let's hit this one. Alright. So this hex to the north here. A 3. A yellow 3. Is 2 DGR. It's very nice, because that'll put them at 4 DG. And we'll take a route check. That's not good. I think that'll add a pinned. So, to go over again, route check. There's no asterisk, so case A does not apply. We apply the terrain defense value to the die roll. So 6 minus 1 is 5. There's no leaders there. We add the defensive, or we apply the defensive value of the target, which is -1. That becomes a 4. And then we apply any troop quality modifiers in the hex. So we have a net of -1 to the troop quality. So we rolled a 4. The current troop quality is 5. -1 is 4. So we rolled a 6. I've confused myself. Alright, so the modified troop quality is 4. They have a -1 for the terrain, and they have a -1 for the unit. So they pass, because it's equal. 4 to 4 is equal. So they're very lucky. Alright, so this hex to the south here, 3632, is a 6. We got the big 6. So that is 4 DGR. So that'll put them in a danger zone for sure. Alright, so route check, we need a 7 or higher fails. Alright, so they passed. It's the same thing as last time. I was just checking to make sure the same modifiers apply. Boy, so you really hate to see it if you are the Empire of Japan. Alright, so this stack here will roll a 0. So that's 2 DG with a suppression. And we'll roll this one here. 6. That is a unit eliminated. Oh, somehow this stuck around from last turn. We'll remove that. There's payback for the Americans. That was a unit that really did some damage to them. One less thing for them to worry about there. Alright. This unit here. 6 or less. No dice. Japan finally catches a break there. And then we'll roll this one here. 6 or less. 1. That is a DG R star. I don't know that we're going to be able to route them because they do have the leader there, which is nice, and the star. So roll alone, it doesn't matter. Oh, that's a 9. That's always a fail. So since they're deployed, the hex is pinned. And since they're surrounded, they weren't actually going to go anywhere. But before you can remove any of the DG levels, you have to remove the pinned marker. So that was really an excellent sequence of events for the Americans. They got good results with the naval bombardment, and they got good results. They got very good results with the aircraft strikes. Getting that big 6 really made a difference. And now I'm thinking, as the Americans, I see some hope for the 2nd Marine Division, and it looks like the 4th is going to start making decent headway as well. So now the Americans will again not opt to play a chit, but I'm thinking, boy, it's just so tough because I really want to play this chit and remove some of these DG markers. But the thing is that with all these units coming on, it seems pretty likely that we're going to lose at least some of them anyway. And if I play that 2, they will have no chit next turn. Nothing at all. And if they don't roll their dispatch rating next turn, they won't even be able to priority play a chit. So it really, at this point, it seems like a bit of a sunk cost. So we're going to pull another chit. Maybe something will happen that'll change our minds here. Oh, hey, the division activation came up. One of the things that obviously I love about games in general, but in particular this game, or any chit pull system, is the narrative moments it creates, just like that. Like, here we are, we're laboring, deciding what do we do? Do we spend this? Do we not? And then something like that comes along and makes it a moot point. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm actually removing any no opportunity fire markers so I don't forget. Do I want to transfer a leader? You betcha. You betcha I do. I'm going to move this guy over to here. Worst case that happens is once the hex is wiped, he gets moved to next closest hex. So they don't do a ton of good sitting back there, you know. So, alright, so this one will rally down one. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. If I recall correctly, you cannot build foxholes in a town. I thought that was the case, but I'm not seeing anything that says no. I know this is fun, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say no. Because I'm pretty sure you can't. I just don't think I'm finding it. Okay. No. Alright. So I'm going to see if we can bring on reinforcement group A over here. So we're going to roll its true quality rating or less. And we fail. So no special reinforcements there. Alright. We are going to... And we can't shoot with any of those. We can shoot here. We can shoot here. So let's do that. Shoot with this one. Miss. But we do apply smoke. Would like to move these, but can't. By special rule, they didn't have transport for their heavy weapons, so when they flip to column side, whether it's because an American unit is adjacent or by choice to maneuver, they don't flip back, basically. They've abandoned their guns at their position. Yeah. So these guys, they all look okay over here. But these guys, I'm starting to think about Gyokusai attack, and these are some really nice cheap units that aren't going to be worth a whole lot. So they're kind of the ideal Gyokusai units. So let's move them closer. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, we'll just kind of keep everything that's going on in the north going on in the north. Okay. That is good to me. Darn. Okay. Next chit. American Dark Command. Nice. Alright, so the 2nd Marines will roll for direct commands. Oh, I didn't pay for those airstrikes. Let's do 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Alright, so 2nd Marine Division. That's 4, 6 is 10, so they're going to be maxed. And the 4th Marine Division, it's 2 plus 5 is 7, and they will be maxed. Awesome. So again, kind of wish that these guys had landed on the beach. Well, for the I don't know what I'm saying, because you can never do a second activation on a direct command shit. But let's see if we can maybe put a little hurt in. We have a nice opportunity to eliminate this stack. So we're going to activate here. So that's 1, 2, 3 units. I'm going to leave the concentrated fire marker there because we are going to use it. So we'll add it up. Let me get out the terrain effects chart. So we are, our base firepower, I'm so sorry. Alright, our base firepower is 5. Infantry company is 5, plus 2 other units is 7, plus the leader is 8, plus concentrated fire is 9. So here we have defensive strength of the unit is 1, so 8. Trenches is 2, is 6. Terrain of the hex is 5. So final fire coming out is 5. So 5 or less will do some damage. It's a big miss. It's a big miss. Alright. Here, one unit will rally. Doesn't really matter which. Well, yes it does, but it'll be the tank. Let's see. For opportunity fire, and we'll risk it. So this tax, that gets removed. These two will move out. Obviously, we're going to do the opportunity fire first, but this is just kind of visualize where they're going to where they're going to go. Alright, so opportunity fire. 5, not a chance. Not a chance. So that's another 2 direct commands. Now they can do sustained fire, which means they can opportunity fire again. But if they do, they're putting themselves at risk of losing that heavy machine gun. We'll also need a disorganized 3 there, because this hex had a disorganized 3 going in, so you have to kind of take it coming out. Now I have to spend twice as many actions to remove or reduce the disorganized markers, so that kind of stinks, but you know, it is what it is. Alright. Okay, so down here in the 4th Marine Division, hopefully we get to have some fun. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy one of these, and we're going to activate this stack, and we are going to target this hex here. So it's minus 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5, 6, 7, minus 4 is 3. So we'll do the concentrated fire marker. And just to spell that out, 5 base, plus 1 is 6, plus 1 for concentrated fire 7, minus 1 for the unit is 6, minus 2 for the trenches is 4, minus 1 for the hex is 3. So 3 or less on the red, miss. One unit will rally, the other will deploy and shoot, so 5, 6, so the last one was 3 or less. Actually, we'll aim at this unit because it's only a minus 2, minus 3, so 5 plus 1 is 6, 3, so 3 or less, 0. 0 on the red is a DGS. Nice. Okay. So we've gone through 4 units so far. We'll remove that. Alright, and the reason why I'm deploying one of these is so that if Japan were to aim and fire at them, if all units are in column, if all units are in column, the attacker chooses which unit you're firing at. If at least one is deployed, the defender does. This way we don't have to give them the +1 modifier, which is nice. You definitely don't want to give that if you can avoid it. And none of this triggers an opportunity fire because it doesn't count as spending a movement point. Alright, so here, 5 base, plus 1 for the unit is 6, plus 1 for concentrated fire is 7. Aiming here is minus 1 for the unit, minus 2 for the trench, and 1 for the hex is 3. So 2 for the trench, 1 for the unit is 3, 1 for the hex is 4. So that's 7 minus 4 is 3 or less. Miss. Alright, we'll do the same thing here, so it's the same odds attack. We'll deploy one of these. And just to keep up, I've done 2, 4, 6, now 8. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 or less. No. Try these 2 units, they'll each be zeros. So I need a 0. Nope. We'll actually deploy both of them. Still would have been a 0. And try this one here. This will be a, I don't know if we do concentrated fire. This will be a 2 or less, 2 or fewer. Nope. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, kind of disappointing since we had a really good opportunity there to do some damage, but you kind of see really what a big advantage just even a little bit of defensive works gives the defender in this game. Plus I had a really shitty run, excuse my language, a really poor long run of die rolls there, which kind of balances out for the really good run I had earlier. So I'll pull the next chip. It's a wind chip. So we are going to get rid of this, this. Actually, let's try this out, see if this works. Remove all barrage markers. There we go. Oh, yep, and that removed the smokes that I was going to forget. I've probably forgotten them a couple times, honestly. Alright, next chip. Japanese direct command. Alright. So, direct commands for the 43rd. Ugh. 5. 47th. Oof. Navy. Okay. 5. Alright. We'll start with the Navy. Oh, that should be gone. So I'll activate that unit. And we'll target this hex here. Miss. Which is too bad. That unit there is gone, sadly. Direct fire, direct fire, direct fire, direct fire. In Tinian, the Navy has a lot of really good artillery pieces that they just don't have in this setup. When I say artillery, I should say indirect fire to be more accurate, because they do have some good, what you might consider artillery. Okay. So we want to remove the pinned here. And we'll remove the no opportunity fire. Remove the no opportunity fire there. And we'll activate first shot at this hex here. 3, that might actually, so they're at 4. -1 for the hex is 3. But that's the only modifiers. Yeah, so that's a solid hit. DG R star. route roll. So 5 for the case A. 1 for the terrain, which is 4. No leaders or heroes. No status markers. That's below their true quality of 6, so they pass the route check. Alright. This indirect fire unit will target this hex here. Oh, actually, I don't think I can. They can't fire on a direct command. Yeah, so Japanese artillery is defined as having this symbol, which I'm highlighting here, and indirect fire units. They may only fire as a first action of a formation or division activation. Alright, so let's try this one instead. We'll just target the hex in front of us. Actually, we'll rally off the suppression there. So that's 1. So we'll target this hex in front of us. Nope. And let's keep moving these guys up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will make a nice Gyokasai stack as well. So we're looking to have about 9 units to throw at them. Dang. It's kind of a lot. These units here, their range is too short. They could fire, but their range is too short. Oh, so I didn't spend those. 10. Cool. 43rd. We'll rally off the suppression. We'll rally there. We'll remove the sustained fire. We'll reduce that 1. We'll reduce that 1. None of these can fire. That doesn't have line of sight. That doesn't have line of sight. We have a decent amount of direct commands. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, since we've caught up with the road. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. That was kind of a lot, but we're good. Oh. This unit here. This unit, since it's a direct fire unit, is not subject to the first fire restrictions. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we can nail this stack here. Just hit him. So we'll do concentrated fire. So that's a 5. -2 for the hard target, +1 for, or +2 since they can fire. They can choose to fire at the mortar section. And I don't know what genius decided not to deploy them. Oh well. And it was a miss. Americans are very fortunate there, because that could have been a nasty attack. Alright. So next one, amphibious movement. Okay. So let's start with the easy ones here. So they'll go here, and these guys will go here. This stack will opportunity fire there. Miss. Place the sustained fire marker. We'll shoot there. 8. Easy come, easy go. That weapon is broken and will be removed from the game. So we'll just change this to no opportunity fire so we know it. This unit has no fire zones, so they could not opportunity fire. Indirect fire units can never opportunity fire. All right. These guys drop down, 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 down. These guys come down. These guys will shoot, so it's 4, -2, so 2 or fewer. Miss. Put the opportunity, sustained fire. We'll do this group as well. It's another broken machine gun. This unit can do it as well. No go. This drops down, drops down, drops down, drops down. Alright. Then up here. They will opportunity fire. That's a miss for sure. I'm going to withhold there. Drop these guys down. Don't have anyone that can put a shot on I guess these guys could, but there's nothing. I don't know that there's anything worthwhile moving through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess they could. Yeah, let's try it. No go. We'll move these down, but the stacking nightmare continues. I should have considered moving it, but I didn't. All right. Last chat should be the 6th Regimental Combat Team. All right. So now let's get some work done. we're going to transfer the leader to the middle hex. That way both of these hexes can ideally get some second actions. Alright, so this one here, we're going to attack this hex. Hopefully get lucky and polish it off. Alright, so we start with a base of 5. We add 2 units for 7. We add concentrated fire for 8. We look here, we subtract 1 for the unit, 2 for the tenches, which is 3. 1 for the hex is 4. So 4 or fewer, miss. So we'll remove, we'll decrease that 1 level. And we'll say that was the tank. We'll reduce this 1 level. And we'll make one of those deployed. Alright. So 5 concentrated fire. 5 plus 1 for the other unit is 6, plus 1 for the concentrated fire is 7, minus 1 for the disorganized level is 6, minus 2 for the trench, minus 1 for the unit is 3, minus 1 for the hex is 2. 2 or fewer. No go. Alright. So that cost me 2 direct commands. This last one here is if we attack, five, 6, 7, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3. Let's go for it. 3 or fewer. Nope. So that cost me 2 direct commands. Alright, that's the turn. So let's put these away, these chits. So all in all, not a bad turn for the Americans. Obviously, they had some really good luck with the air support and the naval support chits. That was really awesome. They had some timeliness in their other chits, but they weren't really able to translate that into kills. Japan should feel very fortunate that the American stacking issues continue, because their dice have really not been on their side. So for the 1100 hour, things are looking pretty good so far for the Americans. They are on board in force in the south. In the north, on the other hand, it's kind of a tough situation. I'm not super worried about losing any more stacks, but we gotta get this log jam figured out. Excuse me. Otherwise, it's just gonna mess up the timetable so bad. For the Japanese side, we have a second line of units starting to form here, kind of aiming for a Gyokusai attack, probably tonight, perhaps tomorrow night, but these units, if we can take these 8 units and turn them into 3 or 4 victory points, I think that would be worth it. They aren't very strong combat units, but on the other hand, if we deploy them and we entrench them, then they're just kind of you know, more activations that the Americans have to spit out in order to kill the island. So really two schools of thought there. Alright, so I'm just going to throw these all back in the cup, and that's the 1100 turn. Thank you for checking it out. Again, this is Mike with Play More Games, and we'll be back with another one soon. Thanks.